Welcome back. For those of you that are new, my name is Bradley. I run the channel Books with Espresso. For those who have already been here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you came from my last video, then you know this is the other side of the coin. Instead of doing it a haul, we're doing an unhaul today, so you can see that I do have more books than I need. A lot of this is going to be things that I just lost interest in. I bought them years ago and just haven't read it, haven't thought about reading it. So I just figured it's probably best to go to somebody else, make some room on my shelves for books that I would love to proudly display and books that I would love to read, while allowing other people to read books that I am currently not interested in. So for a lot of these, I'm not going to really give a description on the book. I'm not going to always go through and say, hey, I don't want this because of this, I don't want this because of that. A lot of these are just showcasing, or a lot of this is just showcasing books that I'm no longer going to be reading or possibly moving on from. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The next set of books that I'm going to be unhauling, I'm just going to share as a full-on bundle of books, I guess is the right word. A full bundle from this author, just because I've lost interest. When I first got back into reading, my wife and I tried this author, and we did find some interest in his books, but as time has gone on, I have kind of lost my interest. I've moved on from literary fiction and gone into straight speculative fiction. Anything other than that really just doesn't pique my interest anymore. And that is going to be Haruki Murakami. Right here I've got Colorless. It's a good book if you are someone who wants to read about depression, anxiety, all of that. Good book, but just it's just not something I'm not interested in picking back up. And after really thinking about it, his portrayal of women, I know it's a cultural thing, a cultural and most likely an age thing because he's a boomer, I believe. But I just it makes me uncomfortable, that it makes other people uncomfortable as well. So I would rather not support it anymore. We've also got The Wind Up Bird Chronicle, IQ 84, and Killing Commendator, or Commendatore, whatever the fuck it is. Sorry, Mom and Dad, didn't even read it. For the same reason as the Murakami unhaul, I'm also unhauling The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I read this like way back when I was in high school, and it was a book that I enjoyed back then, so I just kind of held on to it, but I haven't thought about it or picked it up since. I honestly have no clue how I still have it after over 10 years, not even looking at this book, so instantly unhauling it. It's just not for me. This is a dude bro writer for dude bro people. I hear they're really good, but I also hear a lot of pretentious people talk about his book, so not me, not for me. I believe the next book is going to be a bit controversial. Oop, already showed it. Prior to the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Picked this up years ago when it first came out, just because the cover really got me. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at it. I will never not say that she has not had absolutely gorgeous covers made for her books, because she has. Every time I pass any of her books, I don't even know why I showed that. There's no sprayed edges. Anytime I pass any of her books, I'm always like, damn, that looks really good. I should pick that up. But I gave this book a chance when it came out. And at the time, I don't think I was well read enough in anything, because I was coming back off of a very long hiatus of reading. Essentially, like my whole college career, I didn't read a book. So it wasn't my time to read this book. Unfortunately, I have not thought about this book in forever. And I just don't really care to pick it back up. I've heard nothing but not so great things about the follow-up, about the prequel. And I just don't have the space for a big chunking book that I'm just not going to read at all, if I'm being honest with you. So it's nothing against her, it's nothing against the book. I'm sure it's great for those that really enjoyed it, but for me, it just wasn't it. So give it to somebody else. And it's in perfect condition, so if anybody wants a perfect condition hardcover, let me know. You can have it. And the next book is Witch Queen by Martha Wells. This just was really, I don't know. I love her Murderbot series. I've read, I believe, 3 of the 7 books that are out now. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just wasn't really getting it. But the first, like, 5 chapters of this was just like a what the hell is going on type of thing. And not like a I didn't understand it, but why should I care? You know, I never got the why should I care aspect within the first 5 pages, within the first 5 chapters of this series, or this book. I never got the why. What compels me to give a shit about this, this king and I believe his wife, and this, God knows, it's been a while since I read it. I believe it was a young girl that was also with him. Why should I care? And I don't know, after putting it down, I never was compelled to pick it back up, and so somebody else can like it. The next 2 books, unhauling it for the same reason. The Cruel Stars by John Birmingham, and Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. The Poster Girl one, I believe, it's the Fairloot exclusive. I tried Fairloot for a couple months, mostly because they were doing Babel. I also did unhaul that book, wasn't a big fan of it. My wife has it now, but this is just one book that I just don't care. I thought it might be cool, but Veronica Roth has never really appealed to me. I just really liked the cover. Couldn't care anymore. Maybe somebody else will be interested in it, especially now. It might really be important to read dystopian books if you live in America at the moment, but for me, it's just not interesting. So, unhaul. And Cruel Stars, I've had this for years, and I have not touched this book since it came out. Obviously, I've got the hardcover, so I haven't touched it. Pretty sure the series is over. Didn't pick up any of it. Get rid of it. Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis is the next book that I'm getting rid of. This book was actually a gift to me from Daw. For those that don't know, I used to, and still technically do, I'm just really bad at posting. I used to run an Instagram of the same name, Books with Espresso, and the first book that I ever got sent to me, unsolicited, was this book. Gave it a good read. I enjoyed it for what it was. Very cozy-esque science fiction about a gorgeous floating hotel that it essentially gives the story of sometimes is it time to know when to let something go that you've fallen in love with. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really good book, but it's not something that I think I'll ever pick back up. I could hold on to it for the sentiment that it was a gift to me, but I think that this book is wonderful enough that it belongs in someone else's library that will give it the love that it deserves. So I highly suggest people pick this up. It is really good, but again, just not for me. I don't have the room, but it's nothing against the book, the author, the from Daw in general. Just again, no room. Now the next 2 are full-on series that I am unhauling. It's not for the fact that I'm not interested like a lot of these books are, but more that I just have other versions of them now. The first one is going to be the Lies of Loch Lamora series, Gentleman Bastard series. I have the 10-year anniversary editions. I believe that's what these are. Republic of Thieves, Red Seas Under Red Skies, and the Lies of Loch Lamora. I bought these a while ago, secondhand. They came actually really in pristine condition, aside from Republic of Thieves having a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of oopsie right there. I bought these because I was like, well, I'll get around to them eventually, and you know, it'd be nice to have a special edition of a series that I might really love. And then Broken Binding came out with their version for their fantasy subscription, and so I don't need 2 versions of this series on my shelves. For that simple reason, this is getting unhauled. Someone else can really enjoy these, as I have, because they are lovely versions. Granted, they will have to wait 10 years past book 4 coming out to get the full series, so good luck. Now, the final series, the final set of books that I'm unhauling today. If you watched my last video, please go and do watch my last video. It was a nice haul that I did for January. you would have seen that I got a series from the Broken Binding, and because of that, I no longer need this collection or partial collection, and that is going to be Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Oh god. Malazan, Book of the Fallen, some of the original artwork hardcovers. I believe these are the versions that had thinner paper, so they're a little bit cheaper at the time, but still super hard to find, still very, very expensive. And so I stopped trying to collect these because they just cost too much money after book 3. So with Broken Binding completing the entire series and having access to that, because I already opted in for the first 3 and have them, I figured I might as well give these a home to someone who is a collector and will really enjoy them. This is book 6, I believe, Reaper's Gale. Really love the artwork on these older books. I think they're super stylized, and I'm not a big fan of this new resurgence of very minimal artwork. It makes every book kind of look samey, so I really enjoyed picking these up. This is Memories of Ice, book 3. Unfortunately for whoever does grab this, book 2, I kind of got scammed on. I paid $50 for this book. And someone's dog ate it right there. So, $50 for this, unfortunately. Hopefully someone is fine with that blemish, if you can call it that, and will really enjoy it. And the first book, Gardens of the Moon. Really, really love these covers, but the covers for the new, I don't know why I keep showing this like there's sprayed edges. The covers for the Broken Binding versions are just too damn beautiful to put anything else on there for it. So those are going to be all the books that I'm unhauling. If you're interested, I think I'm going to be selling most of these on Pango whenever I do get around to that. So just let me know down in the comment section if you are interested in picking up any of these books. Maybe we can come to an arrangement and I can just send them to you directly. But yes, you know, it would be amazing if I could keep all of these and have enough books to legally call my home a library. But unfortunately, with the limited space that I have, that's just not possible. So gonna go ahead and get rid of these and go ahead and get these shelves refilled back up with all the new books that I picked up in January, and hopefully, a little bit of a teaser, my wife and I are going to New York, so hopefully some more books that I pick up in New York. If you really enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Let them know that there's a new guy around in town. If you disliked it, if you hated me, if you think I fucking suck, go ahead and leave a comment down below talking about that too. That would really boost my numbers, so please do that. Without further ado, without further pushing back on this video, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.